Today I am going to tell you the summary of Landscape of the Soul. A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Daoji who lived in the 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Xuanzong to decorate a palace wall. The master had hidden his work behind a screen so only the emperor would see it. For a long while, the emperor admired the wonderful scene, discovering forest, high mountains, waterfall, cloud floating in an immense sky, men on hilly path, bird in flight. Look, sir, said the painter, in this cave, at the foot of the mountain, dwells a spirit. The painter clapped his hand and the entrance to the cave opened. The inside is splendid, beyond anything word can convey. Please let me show your majesty the way. The painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him, and before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. Not a trace of Wu Daoji's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in the world. This story played an important role in classical education in China. Similarly, the books of Confucius and Zhuangzi are full of such stories as they help the master to help and guide his followers in the right direction. These stories were considered to be deeply revealing of the spirit, just like the art. There was another famous story in contrast to the previous one where the painter wouldn't paint the eyes of a dragon. He feared that the dragon would fly out from the painting. It was one of the stories from many others which came from a medieval country in Western Europe. During the 15th century in Antwerp, a master blacksmith named Quentin Metzi fell in love with painter's daughter. Since the father was not accepting the relationship because of his profession, the blacksmith sneaked into the painter's studio and painted a fly on his latest panel. The painting was so real that the master tried to hit the fly away before he realized that it was just a painting. The blacksmith was accepted into the studio as the trainee. He married the painter's daughter and later became one of the famous painters of the age. The two stories told about are trying to illustrate the form of art in two different regions. In Europe, the art is perfect and like an illusion which resembles something. In Asia, the art gives an essence of inner life and spirit. As in Chinese story, the artist reveals the true meaning of his work to emperor who rules over his territory but did not know the way within. The emperor only saw the outer appearance of the wall painting. The work was mysterious and thou, which means something which has both parts, is what the artist did. As the painting was gone after the artist reached the caves, the motive was fulfilled that some work is beyond material appearance. The Chinese landscape painting is not made with a real viewpoint, but it is a representation of the artist's thought. The Western painting in Europe is a figurative art form. The European painter paints a landscape to show you a specific scene of the landscape, whereas the Chinese painter doesn't choose a real viewpoint. You can enter the painting from any point and can travel anywhere where your thoughts and imagination take you. The Chinese artists want you to travel by creating your own path and then come out in a relaxed movement. In China, this mode of seeing a painting is more enjoyable. A horizontal scroll is a form where one section of the painting is opened by one by rolling it to up on the other side. It creates a dimension which is not practiced in any other form of the work. It requires both mental and physical participation of the viewers. The Chinese painter wants you to enter his mind and see the painting from his thought. The landscape created by Chinese artists is spiritual inner and conceptual or abstract space. The Chinese concept of art is also expressed as sansui, which also means mountain water. It is together used to represent the word landscape. The two complementary poles of an image reflect the Taoist view. The mountain in the landscape is yang, which means to reach vertically towards heaven, stable, warm, and dry in the sun. Whereas the water is the yin, which is receptive and feminine aspects of universal energy. The yang is active and masculine and the opposite of yin. There is a third essential element which is the middle void, which is the place where they interact. This middle void can be compared with pranayama, which means to breathe in, retain, and breathe out. Here, the suspension of breath is the void in this meditation process. It is an essential part as nothing can happen without it. Hence, the white unpainted space in Chinese landscape is equally important. The middle void is where a man finds an important role. Man is the channel of communication in the space between heaven and earth, which are the two poles of the universe. Man's presence is essential. It is not being lost or suppressed due to high peaks, but he is the eyes of the landscape.